Hey there, Virgo. This is Joy with Joy to the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the world going on around you. Glad to have you here if you've been here before, and if you haven't, consider clicking that subscribe button. And if you'd like to know anytime I post new videos, ring that bell out next to it. Also, if you find that you enjoy the videos, give them a big thumbs up for me and share them with friends or family, okay? So we're ready to step into this. I already have some cards out because I'm sitting in a very tight creative space. Then I'll pick a few more as we go along, but I'm ready to tap in and see what we've got going on. At the top for now, we have unseen forces. So the winds of change are coming in, and what winds are those, you ask? What? Did you see? Look at there. Yes, it is what you are thinking, Virgo. Chilling like a villain. That's right. Sitting out celebrating. Who are you celebrating? Yourself, because you fine as wine. That must be the theme for the week, because it seems to be going around. Begin to know who you are in celebrating who you are and bringing out your best and bringing it forward. Yes, that can lead to a relationship, because what? It is the Four of Wands. It leads to a happy home. Whatever form or fashion that takes for you, wherever home is, whether it's living out of a suitcase traveling the world, or whether it's full-fledged roots down in the ground, okay? But over here, I found through my T cards. Hang on just a second. Whoop, behind the curtain, here comes us. All right, so a bowl, plenty of material things. This also can come with the Four of Wands, about the prosperity, the moving forward, because of balance. And what balance would you say? The inverted turkey. No more jive turkey. No more feeding yourself a load of crap, okay? So you're changing what's in your bowl. You're giving yourself fruit. You're giving yourself fancy. You're giving yourself the things that your heart desires. No longer putting yourself off or relegating it to another day. It's time to celebrate and make the most out of each day. See all these stars? That is your fantastic, magnificent energy, and you're allowing it to shine and to step forward, not braggadociously, but seriously as who you are. And you're like, it's time to get on with this show. I'm through playing this shtick, playing things out, thinking that I'm any less than what I am, because I know how that turns out. It turns out like this turkey over here, and I miss out. And you're not wanting to miss out anymore. What are you wanting to do? You're wanting to step in. Ooh, you're saying over here, we're going to start on the other side, the flip side of the coin. So it had been a previous like crushing, a squeezing, a extruding of self, of returning to self, finding out what is in there. Just like any other packaging, you tear it open, or you press the olive to get the olive oil, right? So Perth, initiation, the mystery, Phoenix, hidden, secret, to soar in inner perfection. That is the direction that you're wanting to go. And this, to me, it's kind of like showing up this time like popping of a cork, like champagne. Like you better dodge that bullet when you go to pop it, because out comes all the good stuff. So what's coming in over here are these little twins. They're coming together. What are they? We have form and structure and creative concepts. So you're wanting to really bring forth the ideas of who you are and who you've always thought you might be. Wanting to step into some new dream realms, some new territory, which is fantastic, because if you haven't already seen it, there's a video on Mars, Chiron, and Lilith, and they're on the sign of Aries right now, and that's really bringing forth darker seeds into the light, bringing forth, birthing things that have long since been forgotten because you were putting others first. Or some of you, that other was this turkey side of yourself, right? Giving yourself some job, eating a whole load of your own crap, right? No more excuses, right? We're brushing that off, we're wiping that away, and we're stepping into this new form and structure, because we want the stability, we want the beauty, we like having connections that are healthy and forward moving, is what I hear you say. So under that form and structure, get right to it, why don't you? Look at you hopping on out there and making a go of this with the Ace of Wands. You jump in the moon. You love yourself to the moon and back. And how do I know? Look, it's another wand. Look at that. Look at this dynamic energy you've got going on. And you're like, hop on over. I'm coming on over, and I'm stepping into that. I'm making my way forward with this action. And that moon there, it's in a different phase. You're tired of, again, the excuses, the old ways, maybe the ad nauseum, the repetition, the insanity, right? Of repeating the same thing, expecting different results. And you're like, I have been around this block too many times to not change my mind. And how do we know? bing, the bell is ringing. It says time is up. That old logic, that old way has played itself out. And you are like, I will put that where it belongs, straight up in the trash. Why? Because you're large and in charge. You're the one in authority, and you're the one with permission, because you're now a grown adult, right? And you're the one who calls the shots in your life. And if you're not getting the fruits you want, you're looking to change the roots. And that makes sense, because maybe you had decided long ago to take on personality traits, or maybe even things that look good on somebody else and work well for their life, but did not suit you so well. Okay, so we've got to learn to honor and identify our own person and to walk in our strengths, because that's what we're here to do. That's how we're set up, right? Like, you wouldn't put a Ferrari engine on a little moped. It would blow that sucker up. So it's about being able to align with all your pieces and parts and bring it together. And that brings forward this creative concepts. And I love to see it like this is underneath the earth, and how that bean sprout shoots open. What's got to come open, it's got to split open and come undone. See, you may have felt a little frazzled, a little harried lately, like that type of sting coming out of the ears sort of thing, or maybe even like a little lackluster and just blasé and like smacking of the mouth, like, I'm so tired of this. Is it ever going to get better? And the answer is yes. Look, you're sprouting up, you're springing forward. That creativity here, it's not just even mindset, that's life force power, and is erupting from the depths in the dark, thus the Lilith, right? Springing forward, thus the Chiron, and breaking the soil and coming out where we all can see it. That's very Mars and Aries. So Mars is action, Mars is passion, and being able to see, touch, taste, feel, and smell that passion. It's not just sexual passion. To me, it's divine action and movement, and how we go about that. And what you're letting us peep into under there is a change in times, because we have a 9, we have the Hermit. And in the Hermit and in the 9, all things stand outside of you, but also all things return to you. A 9, any of its denominations, if you add them together, you get 9, right? And if you multiply them, let's see, is that right? Yes. Okay. Anyways, it always returns to itself. I ain't getting snagged on that sucker right there. So let's continue to look. So he's following his own light. He's got this thing, and he's kind of dragging, kind of moving along, hobbling along, because, you know, crab's made to have it all to the ground, that protecting at the heart, that being able to be ultra cautious. But here, this one says, I've changed my ways. I'll do what I got to do to get to where I've got to go. And I'll be my own guiding light. I'll be my own lighthouse, my own powerhouse, because I'm leaving behind the difficult days. These things in front of me aren't that big of a deal. I can find my way and navigate my way through them, as long as I turn my back on the old excuses. Some of you, that goes back generations. That goes back to more than just yourself. It was like repetitive mantras that you heard growing up. Like, well, someone the other day kept speaking over their child, that to that 9-year-old child, that they're lazy. They're lazy. And it's things like that we speak over somebody, that we don't realize it's a wet blanket, it's a heaviness, it's a cloak, it is a condemnation that person has to carry. And you're like, you know, there's a way out. If there is a way out, I will find that way out, and hope against hope. You see, hope against hope against hope. I'm going to keep growing and pushing and moving forward, because I believe in a better day and a better way. And how are you doing that? It's kind of like the eye of the needle. It's the great eternal contraction. It's like a very Saturnian, okay? And that would be just like being hemmed in from the shell. You know, it gives you a home. It gives you this form and structure that you were asking for. It's no longer like static and stress shooting out all over the place. It's coming together, and that's part of what this intense pressure is, because often, well, and for a number of you haven't held together to this level of the game of sticking it out, making it to the high stakes, the high pressure, right? Like, I have some neighbor friends, they play the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire app, whatever, and so there are 20 or so questions that you got to make it through, and get to that top level. It's still just a question like number 1, number 2, number 3 were, but the quality of the question is a bit more challenging, the information a bit more remote and obscure, and it increases in difficulty. And you're like, oh, I'm seeing red. I've never made it this far. I don't want to fold. Help me not give in. Joy, help me not give in. And this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to remind you, look at this amazing, awesome you. This is what you're made of. Do you see that? Relax, take it easy on you, because what you're stepping into is you, your amness, who you are and what you're made of. And you are meant for this. I mean, this is your spirit blowing about. You fine like wine. Remember that? And through time, you have become even more beautiful and radiant and magnificent and tasty than you ever were before. So now we're going to find out about who you are, the self, right? This is about being receptive, integrity, abide, stillness, willing, presence, mirror, and balance. And so this is kind of like hump day. It gets you over that hump of fearing that you won't make it here because you've never made it before, whether you have or not. That's the saying. So we're going with what the words that are spilling forth, that getting to this side of it is so easy and doable and possible. Why? Because underneath it in comes this card, right? This credit card. That's what they call these. I don't know why I made them, and they're calling it a credit card. Like, it's worth its word. So bridge that gap. How do you do it? Cheerfully. You know, you turn that frown upside down and you put the smile on your face and you decide to, like, lift your shoulders and lift your breath. Take nice deep breaths and just step forward in confidence and in self-assurance, and remind yourself, this is what I'm made of. This is what I'm made of. This is what I'm made of. And what you're made for will begin to show up. And that will bring its own form of healing, its own form of humility and honor and respite. It'll bring in divine clarity, and it will cause that power that's been over you for so long, that mentality, it'll cause it to bow. As you begin to bow in gratitude towards yourself and thanking yourself for coming so far and having the courage to step forward in this, irregardless of the challenges that you were facing, that you decided to trudge forward anyway. And that plaque, that cumbersomeness, that wet blanket is coming off, is being thrown off of you because of your standards. And you don't know exactly what they are or how to put them into the right words. Thus the, what are those things called? Vision boards and all that. You're following this. You're following that dream of the heart, that passion, that drive. And that's the only vision you have right now, is that burning yearning inside of you. And then what matters forth but this will come. You're calling in all of your tools, all of your talents to yourself. You're saying it is time, and you're going from this deep intensity to this chill, receptive vibe. You're letting all the scarcity mindset and the nerves get out of the way, and you're choosing to be open. That anytime you start to feel that thing squeezing in on you, you just stretch it out and press it out and say, I'm giving myself room to believe in who I am, so that I can see, I can behold it. I can vary Mars, Lilith, and Chiron and Aries, touch, taste, feel, and smell it, and see these amazing seeds, this who I am springing forth. And help is on your side. So if you want to know about that help, you can tune into that video, and it talks about what they're here to do and how they do it. It's about knowing that there are creative forces beyond us in the sky that are working to our benefit and our behalf, empowering us and giving us like that extra zhuzh, that bump, that boom along our way. And how do we know? Let's see. Seeds, stars, and showers. Brings it on in. How fantastic. Look at that. Can you see that synergy going on here? It's reiterating and confirming itself. It's letting you know that all the effort that you've been putting in is returning to you. It is coming down, because 7-7 is the return of our energy. That's the Mars gate that we just passed through. And Mars is on your side. Mars is action. Mars is energy. It is that dynamic and that passion. And it's about your passion reconnecting with you. Remember? The things that you have sought are now seeking you. The tools, the opportunities, the talent is coming forth and rising up, because maybe you didn't run away when those words spilled off your lip. If somebody said, what do you do? I'm an artist. And you're like, I don't feel like one. I don't feel like one. But you say it anyway. And there comes a day that you start to not feel weird about it. And you're like, okay, maybe I am, because I really want to be, and that's what I feel inside, and I create all the time. Or maybe you're a dancer or a chef or a cookbook writer or a fantastic friend. Maybe that's one of your talents and skills that you have, is you're an amazing listener. Whatever it is, we appreciate you and we thank you for being bold, for launching forward, for putting up, dismissing that jive turkey and not putting up with it anymore, right? Because you want to bring forth fruit. You don't want to bring forth any old turkey coming on in, unless it's Thanksgiving, I suppose. But you will be giving thanks this year, Why? Because here, matching on the other side of the spread, mirroring. Oh, that's hilarious. Do you see that? Mirror the self. It's your true self. Whatever it is that you've been yearning and it's been burning in you, that you've been following and pursuing and taking that leap of faith, looky here. Yes, that is the Ace of Wands. You've taken hold of it. Look at that. Bookends. Reiteration. Ba-dum-dum. It's like that. It is like, hey, there we go. The punchline. The coming all the way through into the other side. I love it because your energy has already done and is doing this. It is reiterating itself. Sometimes we have snags and things that we have to work through, but you showed me at the very top that you had already determined this. You had already set out to dismiss this thing here, this energy here that was behaving stupidly, is what it says. Foolishly, right? It's like squandering your goods for something that was vain. It didn't ever turn around or return to you. But now this is returning to you. And look, I love it. So we have creative concepts. Here we have creativity. Look how many seeds are sprouting up. You're going to have a whole big harvest. Oh, and look at, there's a snail down there. Oh my, oh my. You can't make this up, can you? Well, I pray for you guys while I'm shuffling it all and letting it come out, and ask to just make sure I'm out of the way in the open channels so that you could hear your truth, hear your light springing forth, because sometimes in our own voice we can doubt and wonder, thinking, are we tricking ourselves? And that's where the energies have been wanting us to step into this whole mindedness where we hold our hand and become our own friend, where our brain doesn't play that devil's advocate or keep bumping up against, the strands of logic wearing ourselves out and putting us under this pressure. But that instead we call in our own divinity, our own magnificence, and the tools and the helping hands and the backup, the opportunities, right? But it's obvious. Look at it here. The sun is smiling and shining on you. Why? Because Virgo, you fine like wine. Remember? You awesome. You fantastic. Look at this sizzling self. I mean, it's like sparklers on top of a birthday cake going on. And you're all chilling like a villain, having a cool drink in the shade, relaxing, enjoying your holidays in this season as we're moving through the sign of Cancer, which really has a lot to do with the heart and the home. And not just the heart of like the building and the dwelling around us, but this one, this home, this temple, this house that we're building. You are the form and structure that is coming into view that we get to experience. Hey Virgo, I love that you've shared this with us, that we've gotten to travel through your energy and be inspired and sparked to go full speed ahead ourselves as well. Hey, this is Dory saying I'll talk to you soon. Bye.